Is it somebody I don't my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Hopefully, the filter is looking a bit warm, bright, and lively. But I am here to talk about Shawn Mendes. Hopefully, that is some good vibes and good energy because he has found himself in yet again another relationship. Was he ever official with his chiropractor? I'm not quite sure yet. It's nice to know and see that he has been moving on since Camila Cabello. But yeah, he has recently confirmed a video. He has recently been seen out with a woman named Bruna Morequinez. I hope I pronounced that right. However, this is where it all began and where it had all started. This was just a few weeks back that they were spotted in Brazil together, I believe. Does it say it right here? Yes, in Brazil. So they were spotted in Brazil. She's a Brazilian actress. And they weren't official, but they were spot having some PDA. I don't have the picture that everybody was showing around when they was kissing in the water in the ocean together. But yeah, that was the start of that a few weeks ago. So there was some rumbling in the street that Shawn Mendes might be in another relationship. And now it has been official that they have been spotted on a date. We see all this pictures of them together. This was just recently in California. And we see that they're all lovey-dub-dubbed out there shopping, enjoying. I feel like that's what Shawn Mendes always does with his girlfriends. They're always out shopping, doing something. I swear to you guys not. It seems like that's the thing that everybody goes out and do, just carry around a plus one as they go out and shop together. But here is some video footage of them shopping, looking all smiley and happy together. I'm very excited for them. And that's exactly why I'm going to pull some cards just to see how Shawn Mendes is doing. Is he in a happy relationship? Has he finally found himself and that he's figuring out what he wants in a partner? And could this woman, Bruna, be like the one? So basically, here are some pictures. All lovey-dovey, goopy, cute. Right. I wish I could slow it down for you guys. I should have slowed that video down so you could look at these pictures a little bit better. But that's what we got, right? So I'm gonna have this picture up as I do my reading on them. Shawn Mendes, have you finally found yourself in a happy relationship that fulfills you? Okay, what card just wanted to try to flash itself at me? The Page of Pentacles. Okay. Just one more shuff. All loud in the microphone too. The first card that came out was the shadow side, which is the judgment card for this Witch's Tarot deck. Let's see what's underneath Judgment, but this is very fitting. I like that. Very interesting. It seems like we're about to dive deep into this. The Foundation, the Page of Pentacles that flashed itself out at me. How funny. The past is the moon. Oh my. Above the head is the Six of Swords. Ooh, Jesus. And before him, oh, the Four of Cups, which I just did a recent study on because it just tripped me up, which is so ironic. So, wow, what I see here definitely with this relationship, yikes. I'm sorry, I gotta pull some more cards to see some outside influences because it's kind of looking scary for them. Okay, interesting. The outside influences aren't that bad at all, actually. So, what we see here in the past for Shawn Mendes and how he feels when it comes to relationships is in the past he had the moon card, which symbolizes that he has gone through his phases when it comes to relationships, or maybe like they say the 7 stages or 8 stages of grief that he has gone through over the mourning the loss. And now that he has gone through the different phases and different places, looking for different faces in different places, that kind of thing. Because of that, he's starting to try to figure out what is it that truly is, because the moon is all about your emotions and what truly fulfills you. And you got to be able to, A, understand that and know what it is within yourself. And if you don't know what it is, you're just going to be roaming around aimlessly groping in the dark. So you need that moon's light to help guide you. So therefore, he's learning to follow his heart, but also understand what his heart wants more than just following the fleeting emotions that can take over him day by day. And because of that, we see here with the judgment or the karmic side, which is honestly very fitting because he's currently in a relationship. And to have this judgment or the karmic side, which is all about the, as I say, relationships are all about that, the mirrors of ourselves and the things that we have to deal with ourselves that usually you don't deal with unless you're in a relationship, because it's those parts of yourself that you only get to interact with because somebody brings it up in you, whether that's a family, whether that's a sibling, whether that's a relationship. So because of that, and that's why we need human interaction in order to see all sides of ourselves. Like, think about a car has a blind spot. Well, we too as human beings have our blind spots, and that's exactly what this shadow side is. It's like a side of ourselves that we don't recognize until we get into a relationship, until we communicate with others, until it comes down to figuring out how do we get along and how do we coexist in this co-reality. And I see right here what he's trying to do is work on those. Like I said, instead of having these fleeting emotions and fleeting love flings, basically figure out what it is that he truly wants. So in this relationship, yeah, he's maybe not trying to be too serious. It seems like they look beautiful. That's why the saddle side here looks a bit heavy, but outside of that, everything else seems like peachy clean moving forward here. Because even in the future, once we move past all the trudging up stuff that he has to deal with in terms of relationships, and maybe Bruna is a good woman to have those kind of conversation with or interplays with to work those things out for himself. Or sometimes you don't even have to like let your partner know that you're working it out with them in that sense. So because of that, we see here moving forward is the Four of Cups. And we see here, funnily enough, this person's in a lagoon, and that symbolizes a sense of isolation. So I'm not sure if that means that they're going to break up when it comes to the future, but having judgment right now and your relationship is just beginning, it's not looking good for me, especially when you're moving on already from the moon, and the moon was already heavy, so now the moon is getting judgment, and then now we're going to an isolation. Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that's truly here to last. But I listen, I wasn't here to do that. Like I said, they look beautiful, they look happy, I love it for them, and it's just sad to hear that this is the sense of element that I'm getting, but it could all get brighter from here. Because when I look back in the past, yes, we had the Seven of Wands where he felt like he was always on the defense and feeling as though when it came to his love, his emotions, his heart, he had to guard it. aka the moon. He always felt like he had to defend the moon, defend his inner self, maybe even defend his femininity, but I'm not here for that. But we hear down at the bottom is the King of Swords. He was somebody who was able to communicate what he wanted at least. So because of that, he was at least able to make judgments that were in clarity and not in haste. He was able to think it out thoughtfully before doing something. So while, yes, his emotions overtook him, he was still able to think some things out fully, like understanding that, yes, I'm getting into this hastily, but that's just how I am. That's just this is what I do, that I'm just going to allow it to happen, because why try to not be myself if I'm going to be authentic? Let the emotions run its course as it normally does. So he got into those relationships knowing, and still this relationship, knowing that he's maybe not fully stable within himself when it comes to a relationship. So he's not ready. So the temperament within himself is not quite ready to settle down, but yet he's still trying to find out there, like this Six of Swords. Oh, usually Usually the Six of Swords is a family, but this time now it's a loner. And that's exactly kind of what I'm seeing, how he was feeling when he came across Bruna, that he was in a loner state, that he was trying to, yeah, he was looking for a relationship, but it just isn't happening for him. And even though he's like trying, it's just something's not clicking. So he's just out there, a loner, drifting out there in the water until he runs up, bumps up against somebody. Then it's just like, oh, hello, salutations. And then it's like they start getting into conversations and things like that. But we see down here at the very bottom is the Page of Pentacles. And I question if that could be Bruna showing up as the foundation, that maybe she is somebody who is able to hold him, but because it's the Page, it's somebody who is still in the process of growing and learning themselves. And that could honestly go for Shawn Mendes himself, because usually it's somebody who is quite awkward, who is not unsure of themselves, but because they still feel as though they haven't had the mastery, they aren't as confident in themselves as they could be. And that's exactly what I'm seeing with Shawn Mendes. So even though he has gotten into this relationship, it's not like he knows who he is and what he exactly wants. He's still drifting and floating until he figures it out. Pretty much. And then we move forward here and we see, like I said, the Four of Cups. But what's above the Four of Cups? The Seven of Cups. And what's below the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups? Well, we have the Knight of Wands, which is pretty good. We do see a movement. We see a movement that's underneath an isolation. So therefore we see a sort of duality of going back and forth. And that's what this Seven of Swords could symbolize. Not the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Cups. Do I make a choice? What kind of choice do I make? There's so many choices being offered to me. Maybe that could be in terms of relationships or what he's trying to look for. Or maybe it is, there's so many different qualities that the pros and the cons, how do I weigh them out? So because of that, he's trying to figure out how to find his pacing and balance in a relationship. And if it isn't with Bruna, then it's going to be with somebody else. But he's still trying to find that temperament and that balance. But let's just pull 3 cards for Shawn Mendes and see how he feels about his partner, Bruna. Bruna. Okay. We see a scythe. We see truth. I figured that was going to happen. And winter. Well, interesting. Whatever it is with Bruna, he's still in that balance because we have a maybe, yes, maybe. So he has a fine liking to her, but it's not a liking that it's like gushing over him, like taking him over, that he looks like thinking of her every night, every day. every breath you take, I'll be watching you. He's not there yet, but he's enjoying the energy that they have. And the scythe is, yes, he in the past he had to cut off a relationship, cut off a part of himself, and give himself a sort of sense of surgery and working on himself and trying to grow. And yes, while he's still in the process of it, he meets her along the way. And while he's having this dark night of the soul, we can basically say, if you want to think about the judgment or the karmic side, is that way. As he's going through this, he meets a woman named Bruna, and they have conversations, they have interactions that feel true, that resonate with him, that he likes, that he vibes with. He's like, all right, I feel you, I like this. Let's see where this goes. But we see a winter, a hibernation, a rest, a shut off, a separation. It doesn't seem like it's going to last long, but for now, it's a yes. But how long it lasts, who knows? Question mark. Maybe just for the winter this season, 3 months exactly, or maybe it's just the fact that they just need somebody to be boot up for February next month. So, hey, who knows what's going on with that? But hey, he definitely enjoys whatever is going on right now. And like I said, he's quite short. Let's just pull. Let's just pull 3 cards. Will Shawn Mendes? Let's split it right here. Yeah, right here. Does Shawn Mendes knows what he's looking for in a relationship? We have a conversation. We have faith, okay, and we have money. Ooh, okay, well, interesting. He knows that he is trying to find the value in relationship and love. We see that he is having conversations and having talks. He open, honest dialogue, and he's trying to have faith, and he's trying to just go with the flow and see what life and where it takes him. So, has he found out what he wants in a relationship? Yeah, right now, no, not quite yet. But he's every interaction, every person he meets, every date he goes on, every person he does whatever he does with, whoever, however deep they get into a connection ship, it's always something that he takes with him, that he learns, what do I like, what did I not like, why didn't we work, why did we did, what was it about me, and all those little like reflective things that he starts doing. So this seems like it's something to help him move forward. Maybe it was something that caught, maybe it was something about Bruna that caught his attention, and he was like, you know what, it's something about you that I just like feel a pull, a magnetic, I want to get to know you and see where this goes kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes with Shawn Mendes and Bruna for the future. But for right now, that's what the cards are giving me for their relationship and where he is right now in terms of what he is looking for in a partner. And it still seems as though that is up in the air and a question mark. And hey, that's okay. He still got some more time to figure it out before he officially settles down with the right one, and not just settle down just because he's getting tired of trying to find somebody. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. With that being said, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. We would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Become a sunflower and spread all those beautiful sunflower seeds all over the earth. I know I said that out of order. Like I said, thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. How do you feel about Shawn Mendes? Hey, do you want me to do a reading about Camila Cabello? Hey, do you want me to do a reading about Bruna? Let me know down below in the comments. Hey, let me know if you even want me to do a reading on Harry Styles. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!